Hello, dear friends. Here we are with another Learning with Emmanuel study. Few times a week, we're going to bring to you one of the messages from one of the books of Emmanuel. In this case, the book is Words of Life Eternal. Chapter 9 talks to you and I about help and cooperation. These studies are such a treasure for us, the ability to have these teachings and have the wisdom of Emmanuel in the morning, right before we get ready to conquer the day in this reincarnation. Chapter 9, about helping cooperation, invites us to think about how we can help and who we can cooperate with, right? In a world of trials and expiations undergoing planetary transition to regeneration, we need to think about helping. We need to think about cooperating. Who knows if one day we are the ones who are in need of help and cooperation. And after all, the laws of society. So we're not here to be alone. We are here to be together. So let's help and cooperate with Emmanuel. He says, let us observe that the Lord, faced with the hungry multitude, did not ask his companions, how many loaves do we need? But rather, how many loaves do you have, right? Or have you? How many loaves do you have? This is a quote from Mark chapter 8, verse 5, right? God, Jesus, asked, how many do we have? Not how many do we need to feed the thousands. How many loaves do you have in your life, friend? And I talking about physical loaves, meaning what do we have right now? We have comfort, we have four walls and a roof, we have food, we have chores that come with having comfort, right? We have to clean the house, um, do the dishes, do the laundry, right? We have modes of transportation. You and I have the internet created by the government, right? And then now we pay to have it in our homes, to improve our lives, to allow us to connect. We have the microphone, the camera, the computers, all of the things that we already have. How many loaves of spiritual gifts do you already have? Are you kind? Are you understanding? Are you helpful, indulgent, right? You have loaves already. And then with Jesus, we can multiply the loaves to feed the multitudes, be it with physical charity or with spiritual charity. So let's continue. Emmanuel says, this passage from Mark revealed Jesus' prudence in alerting the disciples to the need to present something to divine providence as the foundation of what we're asking for. What are we asking for in a daily basis of God? As we progress, even in this lifetime, right? We're asking better questions. We're asking better things for ourselves. We may not ask for the candy, the gift, or the house or the job anymore. Now we ask for patience, resignation, resilience. But it starts with the foundation. I can ask for patience, but if I don't even have one drop of patience, where I'm going to start? What is this touchstone, right? So that's prudence, that we present something, then we can build upon with Jesus, right? But he's not going to give, it's not prosperity gospel. Give me the loaves, and the loaves appear. This is work. The teaching, indeed, the master succeeded in feeding thousands of people. Yet he did not dispense with the few crumbs that the apostles could offer. So they had all those thousands of people listening to Jesus. They were hungry at the end of the sermon. And Jesus used what they had to feed everybody. Imagine the power of spirits to materialize bread for everybody, right? But the apostles had something to start with. He didn't materialize from nothing, even though he could, but he wanted to teach them as much as he's teaching us today. What are the loaves that we have in our lives that grant us the opportunity to build upon with Jesus? The teaching is precious to our experience of prayer. If it is of no use to beg heaven's concessions with empty hands, right? Oh, give me this, give me, but I'm not giving anything to anybody. I'm just self-helping, self-caring, self-resting, resting, traveling, right? Experience. I'm not giving of others. Uttering brilliant and moving words, right? Because we can have beautiful prayers that are void of meaning inside the heart. That's what the Pharisees did, right? There's a passage where there's a Pharisee and a non-Pharisee, and they're praying. The Pharisees using beautiful words and praising himself for being so compliant with the law, while the other person was truly praying from the heart, God, forgive me that I'm yet to be the greater person that you want me to be. So what are we asking? He says we must instead ask for protection. While we need the protection we need, yes, we should ask. But Shane, if God knows already what I am, what I think, right? We're immersed in the rest of our cosmic fluid. God knows the thoughts and ideas and things and sentiments. Why do it? Because it's humbling to do the self-knowledge. If God just gave to us without us even having to ask, what is the merit on working? We wouldn't even know what we need. So we need to do the work. We ask for protection. Of course we ask. We ask for protection. We ask for permission to do the works that we do. We ask for permission to drive, permission to be at work, permission to go to the Spiritist Center, while presenting on our behalf the modest possibilities of our own effort. He says, it serves no purpose to ask for the blessings of bread while freezing our arms in the ice of laziness, right? So I'm home. I don't want to work, but I want the bread to come to me magically. But I need to go to work to earn, to be able to go to the grocery store to buy the bread that someone else made. Unless you bake bread at home, and even then, you're not growing the wheat on the flowers on the soil, harvesting the wheat, getting it to be flour right for the bread or the yeast or whatever, right? So we need to think about everything that I do starts from the cooperation of others. We're not here bootstrapping ourselves. We're not here pulling ourselves by a bootstrap, because the road we drove, the school we went to, the people who taught us, it's all built by others. That's why the law is of society. So we pray for blessings. We pray for protection. We pray for things, but we don't freeze our arms. We go and do. He says, while just as it's utterly wrong to pray for the gifts of love while burning the heart in the fire of hatred. So I want to be loved. I want to be acknowledged, but I'm not loving anybody. How good it is, right? He says, surely the Lord will work wonders in aiding all of those who share your path. Yes, the God is giving. God is giving. And as we've seen in a few messages from this book already, divine providence is everywhere. But it's up to each and every spirit, each and every soul to harness that good. And that depends on our elevation. More elevated spirits can give more, less elevated spirits will get less just because of time. God will provide assistance to those you love, transforming the social setting in which you live, and bless the home where you breathe. But it comes with an unfreezing of our arms. Are we doing the work so we can be blessed? Do we have the merit to receive the blessing? It's a question. It's a hard question, because we want to see ourselves as productive members of the universe. But are we really reaching out and helping? Am I prioritizing the gifts of the Spirit, or am I finding Excuse after excuse. I will go study when I have time. I'll go to the center when the work is not heavy. I will volunteer when I will when, and then life passes. We retire and we die. We get sick, right? No wonder there's so many people of older age that cumulatively didn't take care of their health, but also that retire to enjoy, and then God is like, well, you had all this time to do, why now? And many will not do as well. And some even discarnate right after retiring because we need to be useful, we need to be helping others. However, for God to bless and provide all that assistance, right? For this to happen, that's you and I, must offer God the resources you have already gathered within yourself for the extension of progress and the victory of the good. So, friends, today's homework is to think about what are the resources that I've already gathered within. Patience, kindness, forgiveness, no lamentation, silence when needed, prayer, right? So what are the resources I already have with inside of myself, and then Jesus can come and help us build. It's almost like we're putting our seeds of the resources on the soil, and Jesus is going to send his messengers and help us fertilize the soil, water the soil of the resources so they can grow, so that we can expand, because we don't want to discarnate the same as we reincarnated. We want to return to the spiritual realm better than when we arrived. So how do we want to feel when we are older, when we are in the spiritual realm? It is dependent upon what we do today. And today we want to pray for protection, for blessings, but we want to do the work to merit it. He says, do not forget then that in the help we render to others, the Lord will not dispense with the help, however small, that he must find within you. So as we help others, we build the resources of goodness inside of ourselves. So today, let's expand our vision to be of help to all of those around us in all realms of life. Dear friend, this is a blessing to be with you with this study on our Learning with Emmanuel series. Today's book, Words of Life Eternal, Chapter 9. I hope that God will bless us with many more studies. So God willing, I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.